Hi everyone, Oily here. Tasha, prep for it. I'm so used to saying Oily. For those that don't know, I was first on here as the Oily Prepper, and because I taught people about essential oils. And then I changed it to Oily's Humble Home because I wanted to not just mainly talk about essential oils, but, just a variety of topics. But I've settled on prep for it because I like that. I mean, that's mainly what my channel is about, is prepping. Sorry, I have all of these lovely notifications coming up on my computer. There's no one in here just now yet anyway, so I'll give it a minute while I am looking. Let's see. I want to go to my chat. That way I can see what y'all are saying. Let me know if the video has any issues. I'm trying to get on it, if it'll let me. Sorry, I've got this in front of it. Let's see. Wait. May not let me. Nope, not going to let me. It's all good. All right, I'll go out of this. Since I can't do that, I'll just do this. So, for those that watch this later, I'll go ahead and start. I'm going to get Chelsea Bug, my granddaughter, here after a while, about an hour. So I'm going to go pick her up. We're spending the weekend. She's spending the weekend here at the house, which we missed last weekend because her great uncle passed. So we missed last weekend visitation, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. She makes me smile like crazy, so I'm ready. I've been busy, really busy this week, working on our get home bags, and they're almost complete. There's a couple of things left that I ordered, and when I get those done, I will definitely be putting up a video showing what all I decided to go with and why. Of course, everybody's views on what's best in there is different. So when I do put that video up, if you see something you think I might not have thought of, more than happy for the suggestions by any means. And if you're out there, say hi so I know who's out there. But I did get some emergency bivvies. Hey, Ava. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. So I ordered a bunch of, not a bunch. I ordered some things, picked up some things from Walmart. My big prep this week, though, is I bought a bunch of seeds and gardening things, and I'm going to start planning out how I want to lay everything out for my garden and make sure I'm planting everything at the right time. Things that I need to start indoors, I'm starting soon enough, and all of that. So I'm excited to get that done. I haven't gardened in a few years, and I'm ready to get that going and take it to the next level. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to teach Chelsea how to use the things in her bag, in her get home bag. One of the biggest things was getting her in the mindset of understanding that a lot of the things that she might normally want to eat, because she's 8, things that she might normally want to eat, I can't store in a vehicle when we're in Oklahoma and it gets above 100 degrees very often here in the summer. 90s to 100s are normal. And so there's a lot of things that wouldn't work to store for long term in my vehicle like that. So trying to get her to understand that mindset so that we can choose things for her that she will eat. And also like the rehydration packets. They're flavored, but they're electrolyte. So getting her to understand that, you know, if it's really hot and we're stranded somewhere, she's going to have to, you know, it may not be exactly what she wants to drink, but it's going to be for her health. So getting her the mindset and showing her how to use all of the gear in her bag, because I firmly believe that even children, if they're old enough, should basically have everything that they need in their bags. I'm from far, far western Oklahoma, almost to the Texas Panhandle. We're about 7 miles from 6, 7 miles from the Texas Panhandle line, in northwestern Oklahoma, mid-northwestern, you know, just north of the midline mark. So, yeah, I mean, our normal trips, the reason why I think this is really important is because my normal grocery trips are to a town called Elk City. And that's about 55, 60 miles, closer to 60 miles to the actual like grocery stores and stuff to where we go. So, oh yeah, I used to live in Southeastern. That's a whole different ball game, that part of the state. Hey, Jason, how are you doing? So I'm trying to, you know, I want to go over that stuff this weekend. Hi, Raven Cat Homestead, Cecilia. Good to see you. But yeah, I'm going to, hey, Uncle Al, how are you doing? Glad to see you. Hello. So yeah, I'm going to try to go over a lot of her gear with her, and I've gone over like how to do fire starting and things like that, but it's been a while, so I want to refresh her memory on those things. Of course, we're expecting real cold weather, so I'll probably go over a lot of this stuff out in the barn where we're away from the wind, and like maybe help her practice on her fire still and how to set everything up for a fire. Ooh, excuse me. And how to use some of the accelerant, like kindling stuff that I have, like I am doing good, Jason. Thank you. Teach her how to use that stuff if she needs to get a fire going, how to set up her fire, make sure there's a safety zone around it, give her the types of environment where she wouldn't want to, like in a high wind, you know, things like that, like where she doesn't want to be spotted, things like that. And a lot of people think that, you know, teaching a child to do this stuff is fear mongering, but I don't approach it that way. And I don't, you know, I try to make it fun in a game. Like, okay, what if you were hiding and you didn't want anybody to see you? Do you think it'd be smart to start a fire? You know, try to do things like that to make it fun. Oh, Jason, oh no, knee deep in snow. Oh, hey y'all, real quick, is my video okay on here? And is the sound doing okay? Am I buffering any on your end? Is there any delay? Because last time I did on my computer, I was buffering constantly and it was like a little robotic and stuff, and it was driving me nuts when I went back to view it because it never showed any of that on my screen. A small can of Sterno is good for her because she's really small. Okay, good. Thank y'all. Because she's really small framed, I want to make sure and keep her bag as light as possible. Most of the time she'd be with an adult, but I want everything that she could sustain herself with in her bag in case we're separated. What if something happened to me? What if I had a heart attack while we were hiking and she needed a little delays, Raven Cat? Okay, well, not too bad then. Hey, Iva K, how are you? Good to see you. And I was going to set you as an administrator, but my internet is so bad it will not let me go in, Iva K, right now on my YouTube. So I'll have to go back after this and set it up that way, unfortunately. So frustrating not having good internet. But yeah, so we're going to go out there, and we're not going to start a big fire or anything, but I'm going to show her how to set everything up and how to use everything, how to use her fire still. Like in all of our bags, I always have numerous ways of addressing an issue, like for fire, trying to, shelter, things like that. So I want to kind of go over some of that stuff with her. Use a headset for the computer. You think that will help even with the bad internet? You think that would make a huge difference? Diable Frog, Uncle Al. So yeah, I want to do that and, go over some of the things that I know like would be, important to her survival should, imperative to it if it came down to it. So I'm wanting to work on that. And my husband, I can't believe he's agreed to carry his a get home bag. I'm floored. He works about 25. Okay, thank you, Diable Frog. That's good to know. He's agreed to carry one. He works about 20 to 30 miles, about 25 miles from the house. And so it's a good distance. And then also it changes because he works for the county and they work on the highways and stuff like that. Oh, Jason, it won't be a trip. We're just going out to the barn to learn this stuff. When it gets a little warmer, I am gonna take her camping and we'll probably practice hiking and stuff like that with our bags on. That way, if there's something that she just I feel like my shirt's all lopsided. If there's something that she just absolutely can't, handle the weight, then we'll work on that as well. I know how you set up your bag helps as well. So sorry I'm squirmy, y'all. My chair's a bit cockeyed and it's making my low back hurt. Harshman Hill video using one of your stoves is real funny. I'll have to check that out. Let me write that down. All right, there. Got it written down so I don't forget. But yeah, I want to go over some of those things with her and teach her what some various uses for each of the things in her bag are for. There can be multiple uses. So just going to work on a few things like that and go over some basic skills with her. So I'm excited. I think she'll have fun. She's all about like the bug out bag. But we hadn't really gone into as much detail as what I need to. I think it's important. We often underestimate the little ones and assume that because they're young that they're, incompetent to learn this stuff. The biggest thing is I'm going to express that the things in her bag are only for emergencies. Other than we kind of do a test run, it's only for emergencies, and she's not to access it unless it is, an emergency. So, because I don't want her trying to practice a fire without me, things like that. So, making sure she's limited on her access to that unless there is an emergency is a big thing for me. Because she's still a little bit immature in some of that stuff. She's been awesome. I've never had her try to start a fire or try to cook on the stove without me or, anything like that. So I think that she's responsible enough, but sometimes kids surprise you, so anyway, but yeah, I'm really hopeful that she'll continue to gain some skills. As far as our custody goes, we have decided to allow her to go back to her mom's custody, like completely. She's not, we're not her guardians anymore. But we do have grandparents' rights, so we get her every other weekend. And of course, we'll always work with her mom on that, because there's always, there's going to be things that come up, just like this funeral was this last weekend. I'd never dream, excuse me, I'd never dream of forcing her to come here whenever, the family's grieving over a loss. So anyway, we'll continue to work with them on that kind of a thing, and that'll just always be the way. When I do post the video on things that the children might need that are separately in their bags, if you have any suggestions, or you see something maybe that you think would need to be considered for the bag, then please, we're here to learn from each other. I'm not going to know everything. You're not going to know everything. Our life experiences are different. So I may have more knowledge in a certain area because of my life experiences. That doesn't mean I know everything. And you might think of something that I didn't, or I might think of something that you didn't, and we can learn from each other. And that's why I think this community is so awesome, because we can. So, I'm not new on YouTube, but I haven't been on here as much as a lot of people during the time span I've been on here, because of health issues and things like that. So, there's some skills that maybe I'm not as honed in on as you are, or whatever. Or, you might think just because even though I don't have 1,000 subscribers, because maybe I don't have the knowledge that somebody else has. And that's not necessarily true either. I've seen a lot of smaller channels that have some awesome content, and I'll need to make a list and put them up there. But, just because they don't have a lot of subscribers doesn't mean they don't have good ideas. So I'm excited about learning from all of them. So what has everybody else been up to? What has been your main focus on preparedness here lately? Like I said, ours is our get home bag, because that's the most likely scenario. We live out in the middle of nowhere. So the likelihood of us bugging out, minus there being a tornado or a wildfire, I don't see us bugging out, for civil unrest and things like that, because we're not in a large area. We're not in a highly populated area. So let's see. Uncle Al says, when she's older, teach her old school flint and steel. Yeah, I would like to. But I have the magnesium one, and I'll teach her that for now. And I got the cotton balls with the Vaseline. Shaved fatwood, and oh yeah, we've got food and water in there, and we've all got our own individual water filtration systems in each of our own bags, and I want to teach her how to use that. So when she's older, I've never really used just like old school flint and steel. I have some here, I think, that was sent to me. Let's see. Oh no, that's an arrowhead. And some jute twine. And a mushroom, or a mustache. But yeah, we're gonna at least go over the gear that we already have in there. I've got some envelope sleeping bag liners to go in with the emergency bivvies that I got that are coming our way. Hey Mario, how are you? I don't know how I missed you there. My eyesight's a little bit blurry today. I'm not quite sure why, but it is a little bit hard to read. Maybe if my glasses need clean. Oh my word, yes, they need clean. So y'all are, Uncle Al, is what you're saying? You're working on food and water? as far as your preps goes. I saw Iridium's video on that wholesale. Everything's good here, Mario. Thank you. I saw Iridium 242's video on some wholesale freeze dry DRY foods.com. I didn't have as many variety as I thought that they were. Hey, Selena, how are you? It's good to see you. Hey, Exploring. Just stopped by to say hello. Got to get ready for work. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by. I enjoy seeing you. So, yeah, we're going to work on all that stuff this weekend and other preps that I'm working on. Just bulking up like my paper supplies and some of that. Adding back things, replenishing things that we used a lot of whenever we couldn't find the things in the stores. I'm slowly building that back up. So, and I've noticed for some weird reason, like paper plates here in Western Oklahoma, I don't know what the deal is, but paper plates are kind of hard to find. I found a few smaller things, but like the big bulk, I couldn't find anywhere. And I don't know, that's just odd. Usually we're not having issues like that, and it's still having an issue. So I'm working on trying to get that done, and I'm trying to keep our bags light, but still make sure I kind of cover a broad variety of situations in our bags. So trying to figure out what the different things I want to have and the amount of things I want to have in our bags is challenging, because I don't want too much to where we just can't carry it, but I want to cover as many bases as possible, So are y'all planning on do any of you garden? Yes, dehydrating for food for prepping and camping trips. Actually, I just bought at Tractor Supply a dehydrating book on food, and it's pretty extensive. So I'm so happy about that, and I will be doing dehydrating. You have a garden, Selena. What is your things? I don't know what area you're from again. Sorry, y'all. I have the poorest memory sometimes. So I don't know what works best for your area. I think we're in zone 7. They changed the zones, so I think we're in zone 7. And so I can plant things. I can't plant things as early as like some people here in Oklahoma, but because I'm a little further north. But after we get this Arctic thing going, I'll probably get even a lot more vigilant about making sure I'm getting everything ready for my garden. Oh, you're in Oklahoma too. That's right. So yeah, I love pepper. Peppers grow really well here. We're in mainly sand, so I'm gonna have to bring in. I know asparagus grows well in sand, but I'm gonna have to bring in and supplement my soil for sure for my raised bed containers. But my husband's on board, so I'm really excited about that. And we're going to put it, if you missed my live stream the other day, we're going to put our big old, it was an old feeder for cows, and it's kind of bent up and stuff. So it isn't real pretty to look at, but it will work. We can knock a lot of those dents and dings out. And we're going to put it down by our swimming pool. It's not up in our yard, but it's down there, and there's water down there, obviously. And so we can just hook up soaker hose to that. And then I'm going to do watermelon, cantaloupe, and pumpkins down there. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, Selena. She says she bottles up a lot of pepper sauces and cans, jellies, and jams. That's what peppers grow really well here. I love pepper jelly. It's so good. Jalapeno pepper jelly. Yum. I love that mixed with cream cheese. It is the best. Or like, I like it with strawberry jam and then mix it in the cream cheese. That's really good. So good. And so I'm working on planning all of that out. I spent way too much on seeds, but I was just so worried that they were going to go fast and that there wouldn't be much variety left or anything. And I wanted to be able to have first choice of what I'm going to get. So yeah, I spent quite a bit on seeds. My husband's probably going to wring my neck. But, so if I don't ever post on here again, that may be why. Oh, Selena says she's trying to find somebody to come till the garden for her this year. Let's see. Jason says, I have 6 10-foot garden beds that need a lot of work. The people around here said to start after Mother's Day, as that is usually the last frost date. Zone 6B. I see. Yeah. There's some things, though, that I know I'm going to have to start, like, indoors. And so start those things early. So I don't know what I need to start indoors. You can tell I'm not a very experienced gardener. So I'm going to go through each package. I'm going to write down what I should start indoors and when and all of that so that I don't mess anything up. Because, I feel like we're getting to a place where that's going to be the only way that a lot of people are going to be able to eat is just to grow their own food, or a good chunk of it anyways. Oh, you have a spot for a future compost pile too, Jason? That's good. Yeah, I could do one far enough away from the garden down there in the pool that we're not smelling it, but close enough that, I could just load up a wheelbarrow or whatever and bring it if I needed to. Oh, that's awesome, Selena. I'm going to give my indoor seeds a little bit longer, but I know for Oklahoma, as you've probably already seen, not this weekend, but next weekend is supposed to be single digits and wind chills of possibly below that, like -5 or better. And for our area, that's pretty cold. So we're, and with no windbreak here in western Oklahoma, no windbreak and really high winds always coming through here. It really makes it cold. Hey, Gear. How are you? Good to see you. You having a good one? Gear, Chelsea's supposed to be here this weekend, so maybe a little late if somebody's doing a live chat tonight. I may be a little bit late getting over there. Just kind of depends how quickly she settles in for the evening and things. So if for some reason it's just too crazy, I may not be able to come at all, but I will definitely try. Yeah, I'm in Oklahoma, far western Oklahoma, Selena, almost to the Texas line, Texas Panhandle line. So yeah. We're about an hour away from Elk City, Selena. But we're almost as far west as you can go. Okay, Gear. Sounds good. Stillwell. Now, which part of the state is that from? It's different than Stillwater, so I don't know where Stillwell is. Are you close to Dana? So it's off. It's off, I think. Uh-oh. I think I lost you. Oh, there you are. I lost you there for a second. Sorry about that. Forgot I had set my alarm to remind me not to forget to go get Chelsea here in a little bit. But she doesn't get off the bus for another hour. Oh, you're close to... Okay. Now I get it. So you're way on the other side of the state from me. You're close to Dana. Goodness. I wish I was closer to a lot of these people. It's hard to find people like on here that are in my area. And, my husband, he's getting better about getting into preparedness, but he's not completely. And I'd sure love more people in our area. I am part of Oklahoma Preppers or whatever. And we've met once, but then it was right before the whole mess happened at around March of last year. So, okay. Yeah. About 1.5 hours from Dana. So yeah, I wish that there was more people like that was like-minded that I could just, I don't necessarily like everything to be on here. There's a lot of things that we can't discuss, of course, because we'll be banned or, I'm not monetized yet because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. But if I did, I'd be demonetized and things like that. So it's just kind of frustrating that we can't even speak freely here. But so it'd be nice to have some like-minded people. But if anybody ever wants to discuss something like in a private chat, let me know. I can do this and it be private where we can just all just be as honest as we want without it being on video, just in a private room. So anyway, but that's what we're doing this weekend. Going over her stuff in her bag, teaching her why it's in there, different uses for it. And so I'm looking forward to it and just looking forward to seeing her and getting some huggers. Yeah, gear 1,000. And I don't even know how to look. Oh, really, Gear? You only have 1,200? About 1,200 hours of watch time? Goodness, that's crazy. I have no idea. Probably nowhere near what I need, huh? You got a computer today, Selena? Now you're trying to learn how to use it. Oh, really? You haven't had a computer since 2010? Well, my computer, my daughter dropped it and caused a black streak to go on a part of the screen. It's driving me crazy. I'd really like a new one. I mean, this one's quite a bit older and I'd really like to get a new one, but I absolutely hate, I've gotten to where I hate Windows. I just hate it. Yeah, it's convenient to use in a lot of sense, but at the same time, the company is, I can get on here and it'll want to, on my laptop, and it almost never fails. It always wants to update before I can even, and I've turned the settings off and stuff, so I must be doing something wrong. But anyway, it'll always want to update about the time it's something really important and I need to have access to it, like right now. So it drives me crazy. You'd be lost if you didn't have a computer, Gear. Well, most of us at least carry one in our hands, with our phones. But yeah, I'm like you. I like to be able to at least have access to the internet one way or the others. If I'm curious about something, I want to know it right then, or I won't be able to rest. I can't imagine going back to the days where you'd have to wait, go to the library, look something up, or contact somebody that might have that information. Oh my. Not that that's not good to like do your own research and stuff, but at the same time, there's some things you just want instant access to. Yeah, I absolutely hate to text. I hate to text. It drives me nuts. I mean, if I can type, that's fine, or whatever, but I just as soon like interact and see everybody face to face. It drives me crazy not to be able to like just interact with somebody like that. Oh wow, Jason. I tell you what, yeah. I mean my watch time went down too, but I wasn't posting hardly anything. And I understand that, Um people kind of move on and find their new favorites and things like that, and that's okay. That's understandable. I just have to People who are my viewers have to understand they have to be flexible, because I never know when my permanent headache is going to be to migraine level. I never know, what's going to go on, and so that's why I kind of quit scheduling my live streams. Exactly, Garrett. You don't do text convos. Text is for, hey, be there at at 6 p.m. Monday, or hey, I made it home, etc. Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like, I'm here. Or somebody texts me something. If it's too gonna be too involved, I'm like, can I just call you, please? It's so much quicker for me than just typing on the phone. I mean, I'm not super slow at it, but um, I have fat little fingers, and I'm always hitting the wrong button and having to correct it. Hey, Vborg, how are you? It's so good to see you. Really good to see you all. So yeah, I agree, Gear. I hate to text. I'm just like, can I please call you? And I don't know. I'm just like that. And I even prefer video chat. I like to see the person's face, to see their expressions and stuff. I'm just one of those people. I'm needy like that, I guess. Jason says the same thing. He's not much of a texter, and if anything's gonna be that long or too long, he's gonna call as well. So yeah. Me too, Jason. Me too. Well, I just kind of wanted to say hey to everybody and let y'all know that I love you and I'm thinking about you. I hope you're having a good day. For those that have which is most of the U.S., expecting really cold weather, make sure you have things in your vehicle, or whatever you drive. Make sure you have it. Oh, hey, welcome back, Uncle Al. Make sure you have things. If you're expecting really cold weather, make sure you have everything. I know it's early yet, but I got to go get Chelsea here in just a little bit. So I really didn't have a lot of topics to discuss. Just wanting to check in and see how everyone was doing, and just kind of let you know what my plan was with Chelsea Bug this weekend. 6 watching and 8 likes. Woo! Well, we've had a couple of people stop in for a minute, so which is awesome. I don't care if you stay or if you stop in just to say hey. I enjoy seeing everybody. But yeah, make sure you have things for your cold weather in your vehicle, because some people, they get stuck. They may be stuck a while. Like out here in the middle of nowhere, it may, especially when it's really cold wind like that, it may be a while before anybody happens by. So, no, you're okay, Ivy KI. Glad you're here. You've got a shovel in your truck. It helped get me unstuck from the deep snow. Yeah, shovel's really great. Right now, we're not expecting snow. We're just expecting cold temps. But yeah, I have a little shovel. I have an emergency kit, even with tools in there that I don't necessarily know how to use. Like, I don't know much mechanically wise as far as my vehicle goes, but I do have things in there. If somebody happens along and they can use them. Things to keep you warm: hot hands, little cake, cupcake type, or the small size little candles, um, blankets, thermal blankets, or like the quick emergency blankets, and also the just a regular blankets to cover up with. Extra thick coats, even if you're hot natured like I am, go ahead and have it in there, to throw on if you need to have it. It's just some extra things to be aware of. And make sure your phone is charged if you're going anywhere, fully charged, so that if you have an emergency, you can get a hold of somebody quickly. Because like in our area, especially with there not being much for windbreak, it gets cold really quickly in a vehicle if we get broke down. And so yeah, I keep a pretty good kit. I've got to do more, but of course our get home bags that'll be in my vehicles will cover a lot of that. Sorry, had a text. It'll cover a lot of that. So if we do have an emergency and we do need to have the extra, it'll be in there. So, I think I have most things covered. Trying to find some little containers, something a little better than just the Ziploc bag. I want to keep a Ziploc bag in there, but I'm wanting to, oh yeah, gallon bag of kitty litter for attraction or sand. Yeah, I understand that. Like I said, we're not expecting any ice or snow, but for those of you that do, it can be a while before somebody gets to you, especially if you live on like back roads and you're traveling. What if there's an emergency? What if somebody gets a severe cut or injury and you have to leave quickly to get somewhere, for an ER visit or something, or somebody gets very sick? Yeah, you can call emergency, but like really truthfully, it's better for us where we live to actually, unless we just can't transport the person, say it was a neck injury or something like that, it's better for us to go and meet the ambulance because we live so far out. And sometimes they have a hard time finding our house, even though we live right off the highway. And so if it's something really life-threatening, we can load them up, we're going to go ahead and load them up and get them started that direction, because it takes them 30 minutes or better to get here. So it's just so much better to just go ahead and meet them. And my husband's a part of the volunteer fire department. So, all right. Bye, Selena. Thanks for stopping by. It was really good to see you, fellow Okie. Good to see you. God bless. Take care and have a good weekend. Gear says that they're expecting 1 to 3 inches on Saturday. Could be nothing, but could be 2 foot. Yeah, that's how ours is. I remember this last year, we had a crazy, for Oklahoma, we had a crazy amount of snow predicted, like 15 inches or 20 inches. I can't remember how much. And we got a dusting, but sure enough, if we didn't prepare for it, we would have had, thank you, Selena. If we wouldn't have prepared for it, then we would have had, that full amount. So it's worth it. It's worth it just to go ahead and prep. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's all good. It's whatever. I'm just blessed that the Lord's blessed us enough, even though we have a really tight budget. He blesses us with little supplemental money from time to time and stuff, so that we can work on building up some supplies for emergencies. In our area, it's nothing. If we do have like an ice storm or something and it knocks out the power lines, it usually damages a lot of them. And we can be out of power for up to a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. It's very rare that it happens, but it does happen probably every 4 or 5 years or so. So I think it's happened. It happened twice in 1 year. And so, yeah, we like to be prepared when stuff's coming up our way because of that. You don't have to just prepare for the zombie apocalypse. Prepare for the most likely things that are going to happen first, and then move out to the more unlikely to happen. I am in. Let me grab this just a sec. Well, it doesn't say what zone here. I think it's 7. This one doesn't tell this planting zone. It just tells when to plant these heirloom pumpkins. I'm kind of like in between 2 zones. So like I'm right on the border between the northernmost part of Oklahoma and the line for the southern part of Oklahoma. So, it kind of dips down my direction. So yeah. I've got, I think it's 7. They changed that a while back, so now I'm not sure. Let me see if this one says. These burpees don't tell the zones. It just shows when to plant by a color code on the back. Let's see. Where are you? We're in far western Oklahoma, and we're right on the line between the purple and the green. Ooh, Jason, that's awesome. Okay, Uncle Al, that's fine. Jason says saw this pair of really quality snowshoes at a thrift store for $100, but on Saturday they're having a 50% off. Ooh, I hope they're still there on Saturday so that you can get them. Definitely, like if we got a lot of snow like throughout the year, I would totally be doing that. Where we live, it's not as likely, so I think I'll probably get some of those traction deals to go on the bottom of our shoes. If you've tried out those traction things and you're not happy with certain ones that you've tried, please let me know. I want to know what ones you're happy with and what ones really didn't offer, wasn't worth the money to spend the money on. Yeah, Jason, Gear said you should have hid them really well. Somebody would have found them. I mean, most people who go to thrift stores are good at digging to find stuff, unless it was like maybe under a shelf or something like that, and that might have worked. This shirt's driving me crazy. I think I'm gonna have to change it. It just keeps moving on me. But yeah, I got me some. These are just a couple that I had in here. We got the heirloom cucumbers, sweet peppers, and pumpkin's heirloom too. So I'm excited to get some of that going. I'm not going to do a ton of pumpkin, but I'm going to do some that I can. I'm about the only one in my family that likes it, other than like in a pumpkin pie. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Well, you guys, I'm going to get off of here and go get the vehicle warmed up to go get that turkey, my little turkey granddaughter, Chelsea Bug. And if Mikey does a chat tonight, may bring Chelsea in for a second so she can say hey to everybody. And then I'll get her set up on something and try to come back in for a little while at least, or at least be in the external or something. Small town thrift store too. Oh, that's awesome, Jason. Oh, that's good, Ivy K. That's really good. All right, let me write this down. Snow tracks. I've heard the name before, but I want to remember. Snow tracks. See, y'all, I learned so much from you. I just love y'all. All right, well, thank y'all, and God bless, and keep me up to date. If there's anything you need me to pray for, you can always email me. My email is on my homepage, and I love y'all, and have a blessed weekend. Bye, guys.